How we doing? So, these are the trades I took today. Break it down real quick. I did some journaling here, some good journaling. So, I really understand why I took these trades. They were really, really high quality. Um, and I actually missed the best one, which would have been fucking nuts because I locked myself out for an hour after being up. So, and literally my lockout ended. Like I was like, oh my god, 30 seconds. So I'm like, let's see if we get a pullback. Nothing, dude. Straight ripped to TP. But that's what I wanted to see. Like it is what it is. So let me break it down real quick. So, um, let's see. We had the new week opening gap here. We came back up. You know, had a little volatile opening. We came back up. We left behind high time frame sell side liquidity here. Um, Came up, tapped into the new week opening gap, took sell side, pulled back, and I don't really think we took anything specific here. I mean, we took some liquidity here left behind, but pretty much um, we had a fake out sweep here. We came back up, took out this high, so we had a little shift in structure. Came back down, and we had a little fake out sweep here. Came back up, and we had this little pullback before taking out this minor buy side liquidity. So this was a good entry zone because pretty confident at this point once we took out these highs and everything here. Like we already had retraced into this gap and pulled back lower for this fake out sweep. Came back up, made a higher high here, and then started going up with some pretty good authority here. Um, I'm on the 30-second chart. Um, so this looks like a pretty good shot going back to new week opening gap. Good entry zone because it looks like we're gonna at least take buy side liquidity here. It's a good risk off entry because you can go break even pretty quick. The move is invalidated really if it goes through break even. So it was either gonna go to new week opening gap or it really wasn't because we have a pretty balanced price range here. You get in your entry here. I mean, if it comes down, it's just lower probability, so it's pretty good. This is a pretty good entry here for me at least, and yeah. So we took the buy side liquidity, um, and yeah, I wanted to see us take a good shot for a new week opening gap. Once we started stalling here, we had this pullback, and we didn't really have any. We gave it like one more try here, and once we came back down, I was pretty certain we were gonna reverse. So I ended up trailing out below, yeah, just below this low here after we pushed higher. I was pretty much trailing at this point once we started losing speed. So it's not that much profit. I was gonna go break even anyways at that point. I want to see it just I want to see it just go. So this was a good trail out here for more like 0.73 R. Cool. Yeah, just a good trail out. So that was a high probability trade. That was the first trade. Once we displaced lower, we ran through this low here. I wanted to see us continue to this sell side because we were leaving behind the new week opening gap. A new week opening gap is a strong draw. If we're leaving it behind, it means we have somewhere else that we want to go. So I had this little 30-second, right? Yeah, just a little 30-second gap. Oops. Little 30-second gap. We didn't really come back. What we did was we retested the sweep. So we swept this minor sell side here that we left behind. Um, Came back up, and I wanted to see us, start displacing lower. If we were going to start displacing lower, I was pretty confident we are going to take this low. So for me, another high probability setup and trade. So this one was negative RR, but it was just so high probability. This is what I wanted to see. Um, Basically, once we were about here, I just went break even. I wanted to see it take it right there or not. So just logically, break even was the right move for me there. And yeah, so we came and we just attacked that bitch pretty hard. That was about 20 points there. And then, so then we took sell side there. I locked myself out for an hour after that. I was like, I went to the gym with my girl, and I didn't want to be looking at the chart anymore. After that, I mean, we had some high time frame sell side here, but we were pretty much just chopping the hell out of it, and that was for what about 30 minutes. It took about 30 minutes to go sweep that. We were really building up liquidity here. Now, once we swept it, we wicked it pretty hard, came back up, retested. We had a fake out sweep, so it looks like it wants to keep going lower. We're putting in another lower low. Big ass fucking displacement candle. Look at this in the 1 minute. I mean, this just instantly turned north. Now remember, we have new week opening gap above. It's really strong draw. Do we want to continue lower? Through at this point through these lows and maybe lower. I mean, that looks pretty high resistance to me. This looks like a really high time frame reversal. So we had a good fake out sweep lower. Let's go back on the 30-second. We had a really strong fake out sweep lower. Huge. We had straight displacement. After this displacement candle right here, I was already confident we were going higher. I mean, once you have this, you have low resting liquidity here building, just strong targets above, strong draw on liquidity. You have displacement, and once we start ripping through, structure, I mean, we had a 5-minute inverse fair value gap here. Right here, which was respected previously, when we got our fake out sweep. Rip through it. I mean, that's just tilting its hand that it wants to go higher. At least to something, And when we have strong draws like that above, I mean, just night and day. So literally my lockout ended literally as we hit TP1. And I was literally just watching this the whole time like, fuck, dude. 0 drawdown trade here. 200 points. 200 points. So it really just is what it is at that point. You can't get FOMO in a sense like this. Like, I literally wanted to get, I wanted to get it on the so bad. But I knew, for once, I needed to breathe and not chase this move. So this is when we get down to this trade. So let me start breaking down this. So we ran the low resting liquidity, but we still have the new week opening gap above and this buy side liquidity that isn't marked out. I can mark it out here real quick. Which you can see it literally ticked, beautifully. So we can literally just call this TP2. Let's call it buy side liquidity / TP2. So then we had our buy side we left behind, and TP here, TP2 here in this whole run. So great partials and everything to this whole run. Anyways, so yeah, literally like right here is when my lockout ended. I wanted to see at least a pullback and then some confirmation before continuing higher. So that's literally what we got. I literally just watched this in the 30-second. I think I had pulled back into like a 2-minute chart here. I'll pull back into like a 2-minute chart because I was just doing this on my phone. I wasn't really using 2 monitors and, looking at all that shit. I was really just looking at like, this gap here and how we were going to respect this. So we filled the gap, wicked below it and started coming up with some displacement. I wanted to just see, follow through at that point. I really didn't think we were going to push higher. We were at least not going to take this high. So that was pretty high probability for everything I know. So let me just get this out of the way again. Whatever. So, yeah, we took out, we started making lower lows and lower highs. And then we made a higher high, came back down. We put in a lower low, a higher low, and then we put in a higher high. And then once we pushed higher one more time, that's when I entered, because I figured at that point we were absolutely going for at least this high here, which we did. And I really, after missing out on this whole run, I really wasn't confident. Like, we could have pulled back further. I really wasn't confident that we were just going to go run these highs. And it really wasn't something I was willing to risk. Like, I probably would have gone break even after it took this high and would have break even me. So the right move here was definitely the base hit. Base hit, 25 points. And, just a quick, pop to the buy side liquidity that it left behind. And then we took out this high, chopped around for a bunch of bullshit. Like, it literally became dead. and then we had a good run to the new week opening gap, and then we also filled it as well here on a good leg up. So that was pretty much the fucking trades for the day. Missed out on the biggest one, which would have been fucking bank. But, you know, stacking high probability wins is exactly what makes these fucking, like, able to go risk on. And, I mean, look, I mean, I literally took this, would have taken the same amount of risk here. You put, you know, your stop below the inverse for value gap. That's what, you know, dictates if your move is wrong or not. You know, we could have got something like, you know, something like this, where we line up with, I wish it was, you know, this high here, or we line up with this high here, creating like a, you know, what is it, fucking sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency, or buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency, I don't fucking know. But something like this, you know, so that's where your stop's supposed to go. You know, it can even wick below. You wanna give it a little breathing room. So pretty much, yeah, you know, those are just my high probability trades for the day. Fresh funded account, already up. Oops, almost up at the buffer there. You can see all the trades here, and hell yeah, you know, we live to fight another day. I locked out for New York AM. I did see one trade I liked. I wanted to see us go to take, I believe it's all-time highs up here, or maybe not all-time highs, like previous week high. So after let's see, this was the open candle here. We had a fake out higher. I wanted to see, oh yeah, once we had higher here, once we had this little fake out higher above this, you know, minor buy side, I did really like this just quick little fucking 20-point pop here with like a stop above the little guy there. Let me get in on this. Honestly, like, let's go to like a 15-second chart here. Shit moves quick nowadays. There it is. I wanted to see at least a pop down to like this sell side. I did notice we had also this this rest in liquidity here, which also is where I got this trade idea from too, which again I didn't take because I'm still locked out, but yeah, I really like that little pop there real quick. Another like negative RR, almost 1 RR type shit, you know. Yeah, one of those ones where you go quick break even after it displaces away from your entry low key, because you're trading, you know, I'm trading with like 1.5 minis, so I really wouldn't have liked it to see us come back into this at all before taking at least this low. Like once you take this low, it's like break even. So anything around here, once we break below this little candle here, like to see it just run, and that's what it did. I don't really think it ran. It ended up running this low as well, and then leaving behind the rest in liquidity here, pretty much. And then I wanted a 30-minute, not a 30-second. Like, ooh. And then yeah, pretty much we chopped around. We literally edged the previous week high, I believe. Edged the fuck out of it, but we had really good structure lower. Let me check out the 5-minute. Yeah, basically just a bunch of chop, and then we had some pretty good, you know, another like fake out sweep kind of gist here, just on a higher time frame, taking out all this liquidity. So I was targeting at least to the bottom of, you know, this liquidity. It's, you know, just more stacked, and then we ended up taking all the way out to here, and then just chopped around the rest of the session. So I mean, if you're gonna sit there and look at this shit and tell me price does not move on liquidity, then you're crazy, because I mean, this is just fucking obvious to me, and this shit just fucking works. So, you know, fucking fake out sweep there. You know, I'm sure there's an inverse you can find there. I believe I found one where, oh yeah, right here. I like this little inverse right here. Look at that shit, you know. And you know, because we're respecting these here as well. Bang bang, swept it. Another fake out sweep here in the lower time frame. You know, started displacing. We took out this low, inverse this gap, retested, started coming back lower. I mean, that's just fucking beautiful. That's literally just fucking beautiful. You just have to be patient enough to not chase shit. But if you really just use logic behind this shit based on liquidity, it's fucking easy as shit. So, you know, just gonna try to fucking stay disciplined here. I, keep journaling and shit. But anyways, I think that'll do it for me. Um, really proud of this though. I'm bouncing back here, baby. So thanks anyways. See you next time.